Sigurado ko pag nagdaan ka sa UST, lalo na't pinapaligiran ito ng Espanya, ng Dapitan, ito yung mga pangalan sa kalye pa lamang ay binigay na sa iyo ang isang environmental identity ng pagiging Pilipino mo eh.
So, syempre, sasabihin mo, interior designer, fine arts ako, dapat medyo mas iba. Parang ipakita ko yung identity ko, uniform lang ang pinag-uusapan yan.
You're not a Tomasian if you weren't able to experience the freshman walk.
You just do things because it's your responsibility. You're not doing things because you're told to do it. And I think I learned that from my teachers.
Yung latang may laman, katukin mo, tahimik. Yung latang walang laman, katukin mo, maingay. Ganun yung ibang eskwela, no?
Establish a sense of connection with your roots. Kasi every time that people come back here, they will feel nostalgic kasi iba talaga yung pakiramdam.
UST is a top institution of learning, morally, socially, intellectually, you name it and you get it from UST.
Sa afternoon, kasi umilaw yung parang blue cross sa taas.
No matter what's happening to you, whether you're happy, you're successful, you feel you're not successful, just come home. Because here, you have a home. Here, you are at home.
There are only 2 architectural schools in the Philippines, UST and others.
When you marvel at any intricate architectural structure, any building around you for that matter, you're also admiring its pillars. A building has different kinds of pillars. Some are massive ones made of solid stone. In the inner corners, a building's main support system. Some are outside, decorative with wide sculpted bases, slender in the middle, then widening again up top with even more intricate carvings. Some are engaged within walls, part of a wide panel design. Some, though hardly seen, serve as sturdy posts for ceilings and come in metal or wood. Quite crucial, these posts, though small in size. And some, new implements or refurbishes to old columns to keep up with the modern times. These pillars, while starkly different, work together in harmony so that at the end they all play a tune to last for generations. It's much like the treasured pillars of the Pontifical and Royal University of Santo Tomas. Those holding up its centuries-old buildings, and those who once in their lives dwelled in those buildings to learn and be nurtured, and later become pillars in their fields, pillars of the world. UST is no stranger to superlatives. The first university in Asia, one of the largest Catholic universities around the world, and home of saints, heroes, and country leaders. Since its founding in 1611, it has also boasted some of the greatest architectural masterpieces the Philippines ever saw, standing tall through time and today, recognized as national cultural treasures. And with each landmark comes pillars that have been the eyes and ears to eager hearts and minds that once considered these walls their home, their life-shaping haven.
I had very good professors. I still remember them, and in fact, they weren't only professors, they were models to me. Seek for more answers to questions.
What I remembered most in UST, yung freshman, ang una pinagawa is nandun ka sa field at idodrawing mo yung mga buildings.
Arc of the Century, sa una. Nagpi-freehand drawing all around. Punta sa main building, drawing namin yun.
The architectural structures that they have, the old building, the design. I must say that Anywhere you can get inspiration.
When I started here in UST in 1963, it was the old UST. There were separate sections for the men and the women. There were separate staircase for the men and the women.
And then my sorority years were also very memorable to me because our sorority at the time, the Sigma Kappa Sigma, was an honor society. And then we had our soirees in the garden, and the priest would join our charades and give us chocolates. Then we would do some poetry reading during our break periods. We go to the library that one.
Well, I started my studies here in 1947 and I graduated in 1950. And as a student, I was quite active too. I was an officer of the USC Library Science Students Association, and I also became an officer of a very exclusive association of honor students, the Alpha Sigma Epsilon. I took the 4-year course in 3 years and 2 summers, despite the fact that I was a working student.
Into the first day of architecture, Professor Desiderio Santos, my advice to you is don't get married early. In 20 minutes, he said, another advice that I can give to you, go to all the social functions that you can attend. Because that was the first thing that went into my mind in my first day of architecture, you know.
Father Sonny Ramirez, I wouldn't forget, just gave us regular recollections in the AVR. It continued to strengthen my faith. And again, that's what I've been doing now, evangelizing, and the learnings, the values, the formation that I had from UST.
My general education teachers, they did not only talk about their subject matter, but they can talk about life.
Medyo kakaiba, unique yung mga taga-Kafa. At that time, we were allowed to wear kahit na anong style. Para hindi ka mukhang waitress ng Shakey's, papatahi ka pa dati ng iba-ibang style. So, syempre, sasabihin mo, interior designer, fine arts ako, dapat medyo mas iba. Pakita ko yung identity ko. Uniform lang ang pinag-uusapan yan.
Well, I was lucky to have a scholarship from the National Science Development Board. That was the version of the Department of Science and Technology at that time. Now my classmates recall that they also partook of my allowance. They knew when I was receiving my allowance, so they followed me in the canteen and asked me to pay for their food.
All pillars are designed for a specific purpose. Most of the time, they see completion based on their architect's original design.
Primarily, I'm an educator. I've been an educator for the last 3 decades. In fact, I started teaching while I was a student at UST. I'm a preacher now. I'm a Catholic lay preacher under the Light of Jesus family of Bo Sanchez. I would always attribute this to my being a Thomasian. I finished philosophy in UST, and that basically is my continuing foundation for what I do.
I'm managing the mother company, Betty's Craft, and I'm the 2nd generation. Betty's Craft is like a brother to us kasi we grew up in the factory. I am focusing on the export business and the major operations of the company.
And sometimes by a delightful change of plans, pillars can also come to serve a different purpose upon their completion.
I was having a good practice when martial law was declared. I have more free time for myself. I did paintings. Well, I painted on glass since nobody was using glass as a medium. Yeah, I had a one-man exhibition. So when I talk about my paintings, I brought 3 of my paintings and they were quite impressed on what I had done.
It is my ultimate dream to be a flight steward ever since I was a kid. That's why I took up tourism. It is my brother who is the fashion designer. I think I needed to do something, or I wanted to do something. And that is to continue his passion.
Some of these pillars, as they reach their completion, choose to stay as columns within UST, serving their alma mater and being part of its support system.
I am doing research here in the Research Center for the Natural and Applied Sciences here in the University of Santo Tomas. Well, we're doing here the development of sensors, chemical sensors and biosensors, as well as doing some low-cost instruments for chemical education. As a professor, I was able to influence many of my students, guided them in their studies, and one thing nice that was not done before to me by my professor because the culture was different. Nakasira ng utak daw, no? Kaya ganun siya ngayon.
I am the director of the Office of International Relations and Programs of the University of Santo Tomas. And at the same time, I'm engaged in some advocacy on peace building and interreligious dialogue. I reinvented myself. I started at UST in high school. I graduated in 1968 and then went to PhD chemistry, graduated in 1989, also here at UST. I have no regrets in my career having moved from science to university administration.
So I decided to come back here at UST to teach because I wanted to give back or to, let's say, pay it forward. I hope na sana mas marami pa ako ma-inspire na students, ma-train, most importantly, the best Christians that they can be.
I have spent 16 years as Chief Librarian of UST, 49 years as member of the Faculty College of Education, and more than 50 years as a member of the Faculty of the Graduate School. Since 1954, I set up a graduate program in the Graduate School of UST, and I've been teaching there since then. Up to the time I retired in year 2012 at age 84, and after 61 years of teaching in UST.
One UST alumni, in fact, is the very pillar in one of the university's humble offices. Found in one of the less treaded corners of UST is the office that seeks to connect all of these different alumni from all walks of life back to where they started.
We'd like them to feel that they still are members of the Thomasian community. We'd like them to feel that they still belong to the Thomasian community because they are really family. We want them to feel that they are connected. We encourage them to stay connected with the universities. When they are in the campus, they would remember how it was when they were students. We have the Arch of the Century that will welcome them already, would tell them, "Welcome back, my son, my daughter."
Na hindi marunong lumingon sa pinanggalingan ay hindi makakarating sa paroroonan. The important role of any alumni organization is for you to be given the opportunity, the privilege, and the awareness of your past, of looking back, and there's something to look back to.
My experiences abroad, well, I think enabled me to look at the university and become closer to it. That it's better to go far, to go far so that you'll feel close,
I-reconnect lahat. So immediately I got excited and I was thinking, sabi ko, sandali, sino ba yung mga taga-UST dito? I sent messages to my friends and I realized na yung palang tatay ng kaibigan ko, 70 years old na. So parang parang everybody got excited. May feeling ka na miss mo yung school.
Punta ako sa museum ko and I'm happy sometimes sasabihin, "Ay, Mr. Olina, taga-UST din ako."
Golden Jubilarians coming back after 50 years of not seeing each other, they still feel the same way, very close. Imagine 70-year-old people coming back and behaving like 20-year-old,
Kaya it's very important to establish a sense of connection with your roots. Kasi every time that people come back here, they will feel nostalgic.
So parang mindset kasi namin minsan sa probinsya, ang layo kasi ng Manila This social medias, maraming paraan. You don't need to be physically there, you can get connected. Be excited to be reconnected again.
I always see it as the agent, that is there to unify all Thomasians wherever they are.
Sobrang importante ng OAR because as we all know, Thomasians not only invade the Philippines but the whole world.
We would always want the OAR to be true to its commitment, to solidify, to unify, to bring our Thomasians together.
Rekindle that fire, rekindle that passion of being a Thomasian.
Just to remind them that they came from a Catholic university and that the university is still interested in their spiritual development.
Kasi yung mga activities ng OAR allows us to go back dito sa university and be reconnected dun sa roots mo.
They have this concert, Christmas concert at the UST. I don't miss it.
But again, the alumni is a conscious and intentional effort, deliberate effort. You just don't wait to be invited. This alumni really is a continuing effort of bridging everyone. No? That, hey, we're here and come home.
A Thomasian really can be anywhere, everywhere, and you will feel at home.
The University of Santo Tomas is our mother. When we feel tired outside, we go back to our home, we take our rest at home, we come here, we reminisce, we just feel at home. That's what a family is about. That is what a mother is all about. UST is a mother, and she just simply calls her children. No matter what's happening to you, whether you're happy, you're successful, you feel you're not successful, just come home. Because here, you have a home. Here, you are at home.
Indeed, revisiting your roots reminds you of who you set out to be, your identity.
Thomasian is a silent worker. No noise, but then the results come out to be good.
Actually, I'm a shy type of person. I always believe that. I believe let all your work speak for you. Let the people speak for you.
If you are from UST, you are never really branded as an elite.
I was taught how to be humble. In UST, I was taught how to be committed to the work that I have started, has taught me to be faithful, to be loyal to the commitments that I make.
They never are visible, but then when you, in the end, after being quiet, they come out with results.
I would say nandun pa rin yung takot mo sa Panginoon. When you do something, you would say, eto ba yung tama? Naka-contribute ka ba sa society? Or like what we do, no? We provided furniture and naging masaya ba? You can have all the ideas in the world para to create a business, but it's the discipline that is inherent. It's how you look at life, how you make the right decisions that will make you successful.
And I always think that a Thomasian will always exude that spiritual elegance.
That a Thomasian is one person who's imbued with lofty Christian ideals and giving help to people in need.
Yung Thomasian value ng compassion and commitment to what we do. That's our ultimate purpose in life.
The Thomasian alumni have been given two legacies by the University of Santo Tomas. I believe integrity of values and the quality education that we receive. That the Thomasian alumni all over the world will always make a big difference in society.
Yung latang may laman, katukin mo, tahimik. Yung latang walang laman, katukin mo, maingay.
Different pillars as they are, all alumni, no matter what they do in life, are in one accord in holding up the Thomasian spirit.
One pillar as a faculty member in the university, because without the teachers, without the researchers, the university will be very different.
St. Raymond building. If you see a pillar where a speaker is attached to it, maybe that would be me.
And my purpose is to be the main pillar of the home. I would like to think na ganun ako. Former students, mga alumni ng UST, sila yung, I would say, the pillars in the world.
So if we think of the pillars, it's Tuscan, Doric, Ionic, Corinthian, opposite. No? But I can say I am in Corinthian. So meron pa rin ako pupunta, may composite pa. Meron pa akong gagawin pa. Ang gusto ko sa lahat is makagawa ko ng architectural sculpture.
I'm the pillar na yung roots ko nasa loob ng UST, but rather it does not stay inside the university, but it extends outside UST, giving or serving as a bridge to other people so that we would be able to pass the Thomasian value.
The College of Education building, because that's where I spent most of my years. 49 years in the College of Education.
Dadagdagan ko lang yung structure na binuo na ng iba, yung mga previous batches.
Inside the main building, it's in the corner at the intersection of these halls. And if I were to be a pillar, I'd like to be that pillar. Hindi napapansin, one of the many pillars that holds the building, that stands strong, that holds up, that supports, that gives refuge. Kasi pag umuulan, doon lang ako tumatabi. Doon lang ako nagtatago. For me, is a picture of what the University of Santo Tomas is all about. Strong, steady, yet it's firm, but you know that it is also a shelter.
And the one pillar that unifies these generations of proud Thomasians will continue to stand tall, connecting all alumni to where they were bred, to belong, feel at home, and be part of opportunities that raise up even more Thomasians, students, and alumni alike.
The University of Santo Tomas has always been proud of her alumni. The alumni are the sons and the daughters of the University of Santo Tomas all these 400 and more years.
Ibang-iba marahil ang panahon noon. At isa sa mga naging kontribusyon ng aking alma mater ay hindi lamang sa aking pananampalataya, kundi sa aking pagiging Pilipino.
But I dedicated myself and my personal efforts to this institution because I've always considered this my second home. And I love UST with all my heart.
UST is just here, waiting for you, wanting to listen to your stories. UST is your mother. Come home, stay connected, and let's have fun together as alumni of UST.
Behold, the magnificent pillars of the Pontifical and Royal University of Santo Tomas.